Welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing on understanding the features of SPSS. In terms of the features, we'd like to talk about two major windows that open simultaneously once you click on the SPSS application. If you see, you can get this SPSS application from a link that we are going to provide there. Looking at once you click on the application, two windows will pop up. The first one is called the data editor window, and the second one is called the output window. If you look at this screen now, this is a typical data editor window. If you have to come, because it opens simultaneously. The second one, this is the typical output window, where results of all analysis will appear. If you come back now, you can return back to data editor window, which has more components. In data editor window, there are two major slides. We have the data view and we have the variable view. We have the data view and we have the variable view. On the data view, it's just typical to the MS Excel, the Microsoft Excel sheets. We have many rows, and we have many rows, we have many columns. Many rows and many columns. And each row and columns meets at a point that is called the cell. Let me quickly show you this so you to see what a typical data view slide looks like. If you see this, you have the title bar, which shows on the upper end of the file. Just like you save documents on the Microsoft Word, just a simple click on Ctrl+S, you can save SPSS documents, and by saving it, the name of that document automatically appears on the title bar. We have the menu bar. Under the menu bar, we have many components, which you know in the course of this training. We have the file, we have the edit, we have view, we have data, we have transform, we have analyze, and so on. As you can see it now, the title, the menu bar shows these components. And the next one is called the data editor toolbar bar, which is shown here, where you can easily click to edit your data. And you can look at the variable. On the variable, you will see that the variables of the study will appear on the upper end of this file. And we have case, can be the number of questionnaire, can be the number of respondents, as it were. And we have cell. Cell is just like a typical cell on the Microsoft Excel, where a row and a column meets. That box is called cell. And we have data view tab, which I've shown you before, and the variable view tab. From here, we can now see, go back to the you can go back to the SPSS application. Now this is a typical data view slide on SPSS. And as I mentioned earlier, that what happens to the variable view affects the data view. For example, on the variable view, assuming we're having a study and one of our variables is gender. Gender. Now, gender, the type of variable. SPSS has provided options. Is it numeric? Is it string? Numeric variables are variables that can be allocated to numbers, that are stay with numbers. While string variables are variables that can't be quantified, like the name of the respondents can't be quantified. So let's leave gender as numeric, because it's going to be categorized. You still see it as we progress. And the weight of it, what the size of the row, how do you want it to be how do you want to expand it? The length or the size of each cell, which is at 8, which is, I think, is fair enough. And the next one is decimal. Under decimal, your data set, you want it to be in decimal places. Do you want it to have like 2 decimal places, 1 or 3, or you don't want it to have decimal places at all? Let me just put this at 0 because I don't want it to have decimal places. Then the next one is the label. Label is the name that you want that variable to bear. Let's say gender. In terms of value, like gender, mostly we have male and female. So as when you have assigned the questionnaire to someone and you have given 2 options, either male or female, and at the end of collecting those questionnaires, you can quantify the gender of the respondents, and this is called categorical variables. We can assign number to it. Let's assign 1 for male. You had. Let's assign 2 for female. Then you add, then OK. Automatically, that means you have assigned gender to the respondents. So, is any data missing? Let's leave that none. Let's leave the column as weight as 8, and let's leave the alignment at right, and the measure. Under the measure, there are 3 options given by SPSS. We have the scale, we have the ordinal, and we have the nominal. Under scale, it means we want to quantify it either in quantity of time, quantity of weight. That's a variable that can be quantified, either in times, that can be measured in time, maybe in weights. It's advisable to be in scale variables. And in terms of ordinal variables are the variables that can be ranked, that one is greater than the other. For example, someone that has a PhD is more educated than someone that has MSc. So we can say PhD is an MSc, that one is higher than the other. So that is an ordinal variable. And in terms of nominal variable, it means it can't be ranked. We can't really say that this one is greater than the other. For example, you can't say that one ethnic group is greater than the other in your research. So you can leave it like as a nominal variable, that one and the other, you can't really say one is better than the other. So these are nominal variables. And since this variable we are talking about here is gender, we can't say male is greater than female or female is greater than male in this study, so we can just put it at nominal. So this can of course continue. For example, we can have another variable like educational qualification. Since we are going to quantify these 2, let's leave it at numeric. Of course, leaving the weight as 8. Decimal, let decimal be 0. Let decimal be 0. Let's educational qualification. Now, let's assume that in this study, that we are just hypothetical study, that we have primary school attendees, secondary school, and tertiary institution. Maybe we can break that down like first school leaving certificate, secondary school leaving certificate, first degree, masters, and PhD. These are 5 categories. So we can categorize it here too. We can call 1 for first school leaving certificates. You had 2 for secondary school leaving certificates, or let's say secondary school certificates. You had 3 for, let's say, first degree, bachelor's degree, for, let's say, master's degree you had, and you can say PhD you had. So okay, now none, because none of that is missing, and we come to the major. As I mentioned earlier, that in terms of quantification, in terms of ranking, that we prefer it to be what? Ordinal. So an education can be ranked. We can say PhD is more, a PhD holder is more qualified or more educated than someone that has MSc. So let's leave it at ordinal. So this can continue this way all through, because you can continue this way as long as many as the respondents are, or the variables are. Then you can come back to your data view editor. See now that automatically the variables is now shown on the variable toolbar. Variable toolbar. I can now see that we have gender, we have educational qualification. Yes, these are just the basic features of the SPSS application, and the use of these features we have to be privileged to learn it in the course of this training. In our next video, we'll be talking on how can you import data from other applications to SPSS. So please join me in our next video. Thank you.